and learn what turns on the kidneys, the adrenals, probably even pituitary, and go after that and help people detox, and you'll go way up. Thank you, Lion Man. I hadn't heard from you for a while. Keep me in balance, Lion Man. You're a good dude. Don't worry about mixing any combination of your herbs. Someone asked me about mixing any combination of our herbs. No, they're all going down the gut. They all know where to go. They all have their own consciousness. They all know where to go. I love mixing different herbs. It works better, I think. Single formulas, you're sitting there and it's okay. You get more power when you have less and more people working together. Yeah, us all working together as a team is a lot more powerful than just me. So that's why I love teamwork, and we all are a great team. You guys are doing well. You're helping people. I just love you guys. You guys are great. This is all about mouth, teeth problems, periodontitis. My four front upper teeth are being held in place by wires. Ooh. And bonding. I have so much bone loss that if those wires were removed, the teeth will fall right out. There is space between the teeth and the remaining bone that there is, often infection and white pus and blood coming out every day. Also now my lower front teeth are starting to exhibit the same symptoms. I used to be a smoker, but I have quit 2 years ago. I'm only 30 years old. Oh, bro. And I'm starting to lose all my teeth. I've been trying to eat all raw fruits and veggies. I know that will have an effect. Yeah, you know what? I would definitely use the Heal All tea, my friend, and make a tea, and don't make it too strong. Maybe 1 teaspoon for 3 cups of water. Hold it in my mouth, and then put it and spit it out. Take another sip, hold it in your mouth, and let that tea absorb into those gums and start pulling that lymph. And start locking those gums. Bone regeneration. This is a lymph stagnation problem. You're up at $5. You got lymph nodes swollen all here. You need to move this lymph system. You need to move this lymph system. You need to get these kidneys filtering. You need to fix your transverse bowel. Clean up your bowels, get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenals up, get your lymphs moving at the same time. This is a great case where you could use that Calma Plus. That's parathyroid glandular with calcium, magnesium. That's going to help give you bone growth faster. But bone growth faster means you got to move lymph. Because if you don't move lymph, those acids just sit there causing infection and breaking you down. Bacteria is secondary. All this blood, all this, you're just highly acidic, just tearing your teeth up, your bones up. And that's all acidosis that's doing that. And that's the lymph system that's not going anywhere in you fast. This is very important because this isn't just the jaw. You've got a brain sitting on top here. And there could be some serious ramifications from this in the future. You got eyes, you got heads, there's all types of problems that can spring out from this. From deterioration of the eyes, from MACD to retina detachment to deterioration. I mean, all kinds of things. Brain lesions, Honeyware to park the car syndromes. I mean, this isn't just here. So you really got to move your lymph. Very important. But get that Heal All tea and make yourself an iced tea. 1 teaspoon probably for 3 cups. Hold it in your mouth. Sit there while you're watching TV, maybe over to the side a bit, and really... or whatever you do at night, and sit there and wash your mouth out and hold that Heal All tea in your gums for a while so it'll draw and pull and heal. But internally, you got to regenerate bone tissue. You can't regenerate cells in an acid medium. Remember that. Acids deteriorate. So you've got to remove the acid medium to get good bone regeneration. But we've seen jaws regenerate. We've seen all of this. So you'll be successful. You got to understand what we're talking about in these videos. I would start from day one, go back and review these, get a good handle of the lymph. You're going to use 2 kidney formulas. You're going to use, say, lymphatic 4 for a while. Jump to lymphatic 3 if you want. Use stomach and bowel number, whatever you need. And use the, say, lymphatic 1 capsules. At the same time, boy, I would really use that Hill All Tea as a topical type of treatment internally, and hold it in your mouth and let that tea absorb in there and start strengthening your gums up and pulling these acids out of the gums. I have an adult daughter with Lyme's. I dress Lyme's in another one there. This is, my dad is 50 years old and overweight. He's addicted to dairy products. Yuck. Yuck. Oh, man. I can't imagine being addicted to dairy products. Just the thing that's going to kill him. You got to get these dairy products. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, dairy products, I don't know. Definitely the most congesting foods on the planet. The most mucus-forming foods, undeniable. The most lymph-clogging foods, undeniable. And the lymph system is what it is. He's getting a little belly on him. Have you had cases where people just didn't want to accept that something has to change? How many times, honey? What can I do about it? I'm afraid that he will take it as far as he can living in this old pattern. Well, I don't think you can do anything about it. I think you can lead by example and tell him to start viewing these YouTube videos, because, you know, he either cares about himself or he doesn't. And sometimes males get into these patterns and hard to get him out of that. Maybe he's not real happy inside of himself. Maybe he doesn't care about himself enough to take care of himself. You know, that sort of thing. It's hard. We've been brainwashed about dairy products is where we get our calcium. But when you see the commercial for orange juice and they say, well, 1 glass of orange juice will give you more calcium than 4 glasses of milk. Now, how could they say something like that? Fruits are not overly high in calcium. They say something like that because they know that when you pasteurize milk, you bond the chemistry. And then it's literally a nightmare, if not impossible, for your body to even use the calcium at all. When you start bonding, coagulating chemistry to the point where it's hard, you bond this in ultra pasteurization, you're getting that milk almost up to plastic. So that's healthy for you. And then you have the FDA going out and raiding these places, like with the raw milks and stuff, and it's like, this is insanity. Now, we could keep living with it and just send them a lot of love, and they someday might get together and change their mind. I've tried that. Rosicrucians have been using that technique for years. Never seen it work well, but they have been. Man has to stand up for his rights. You know? I think Jesus did more than Gandhi. Let me see. I love the testimony he did with CW. Oh, yeah. You know what? I was going to pull CW's chart and just see her whole story for you and go over it, Mark. I'll put this to the side and remember that. I forgot to do that. It was a breast cancer. I can't remember how much chemo that she had, if she had any. I just can't remember too much. She was a well-known musician, traveled the world, got pretty down there, but boy, she's coming back beautifully. It took her down, but now she's filling out. She's just looking beautiful. And so, yeah, I'm proud of her. She did the do and came out of it. Yeah, the residual kick. You know, you guys catch on real good and you're listening, and I just can't say enough good things about you guys. I really can't. Radiation and chemo has a residual kick. Radiation has a residual kick up to 20 years, according to most oncologists. One lady, as I said, was in 26 years after she had radiation treatment to a breast cancer, and she had breast cancer back from that. And they told her it was from the radiation. Chemo has a much quicker kick, probably within a few months to just a few years. Now, I had a lady in today that only had 4 rounds of chemo. That was 5 years ago. and then she had 30-some rounds of radiation. I would have seen more, but she had George Burns genes. And someone was asking me about chemo. How come some people live past the 5-year mark with chemo? And that's George Burns' gene. She only had 4 rounds of it, though, and she couldn't tolerate it anymore. And that's with a strong constitution. My concern is the 30-some rounds of radiation. Why in the world would these people, I'm sorry, Lion Man, but these people have to be held accountable because you can't keep destroying. Although, if you look at it from the highest high, there's no death, suffering maybe, but I think we can grow out of that. I think, at one level you make statements, and at other levels you sit back and make them detached. I can make a statement detached. I can be part of a lawsuit against the FDA, and I'd be totally detached about it. Just hold accountable to the laws of nature and man and, things like that. Because if you're seeing the power of the negative forces right now, and you can give them a lot of love, I do certainly, but they're hell-bent. And like Germany, I get a lot of guys. I got a guy yesterday from Germany, and they can't get the herbs in. They signed on Codex. When they sign on Codex here, if they do, then you guys will really be screaming. But we could send them a lot of love. But I can tell you, Canada's fighting that now. Codex strictly limits your ability to get supplements, and mostly by prescription. You can't get any good products from other countries. I mean, it's just, it's the World Health Organization closing the gap and making the medical establishment ruin the world. This is what's happened. So, let me see. Let me go on here now. Did she go through the mastectomy, chemo? Oh, yeah, we're talking about CW. Yeah. I know she went through the mastectomy. I know she got it back. I think she had a tumor back from that. I'll get her file and go over it with you. She's not going to mind. She's now teaching. She quit being a world-renowned musician, and now she's teaching people to do this. Isn't that great? She felt she had a higher calling. Unfortunately, with a little mix-up in reposting the videos, your response got deleted. Ooh, how's that? Could you go over? Yeah, residual kick. You can't take an acid that is 10 to 50 times hotter than the acid that damaged the cells in the first place to make that cell become a cancer cell, or cells become cancer cells. You can't take an acid that's 10 times or 50 times hotter and expect you're going to live from it. When 3 pH is just breaking your cells down in your body, which your body's made of cells, and then you're going to remedy that with an acid 10 to 50 times hotter. That's criminal. That's like me giving you guys Drano. It's okay. It'll burn a little, but it's okay. Take it. Most people are going to die from taking it. So all I can say is that this is a bad, bad, bad thing. Man is just digging on that lower states of consciousness right now. And so this is a bad, bad thing. And there's always a residual kick. There's even a residual kick when removing the prostate. There's a residual kick taking Lupron, which suppresses testosterone. I think I told you this professor down here had his prostate removed, and his PSAs were up in the hundreds. And then he went on Lupron, and they went from 0 and started climbing and climbing and climbing and got up to 90. And he told me, and he was on my program, he says, why did my PSAs keep going up, and I'm doing all the raw and everything else? And I just happened to remember that he told me he was on Lupron. So I asked him, are you still on Lupron? He said, well, yeah. I said, well, why? That suppresses your adrenal glands, and that controls the kidneys. He dropped that like a hot potato, and his PSAs went from 80 to 40 in 2 weeks. Now, what was that? So this is what I'm saying, is that you can't suppress the body, you can't cut, you can't remove unless essential, you can't ablate, You just can't. Look at this one person that had ablation for AFib, and then they had to put a pacemaker in her because she wasn't firing at all.